Hey, it's Tpok. I'm back in Katawa Shoujo, and we left off with dandelions, so a speck of white flies past the edge of my peripheral vision, but when I turn to look, it's already gone. Another follows, then a third. Before I realize it, dozens of almost invisible small tufts of white are flying all around us. Look, the flowers. Ah, I see it now. The sea of dandelions that covered the hilltop on our last visit has changed over the days. Where there was bright yellow before, there is now fluffy white. Some of the flowers have already shed their seeds, but many are still waiting for a suitable gust of wind. Today those gusts are not in short demand. Every now and then they shake the grass thoroughly, and suddenly the air is thick with dandelion seeds. One by one the seeds separate from the flower heads and are lifted away. A commonplace event, but one that seems to fascinate Rin for some reason. She's turning her head from side to side, marveling at the change happening all around her as the seeds fly away. I watch them too, following the white tufts floating through the wind towards the horizon, and imagine that I can see them even after they disappear from my sight. Hisao, what is it? Do you love me? I snap to attention, to meet her suddenly very serious face that is not looking only at the flowers anymore. What a tough question, asked just like that out of the blue. Still, her bluntness compels me to answer rapidly. I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe too rapidly. What does that mean? I don't know. Rin sighs, perhaps unhappy with my wishy-washy answer. I would be too. Me neither. I don't think I know much about love. It's fine, isn't it? How should I know? The shrug of her shoulders seemed to say, hesitating to give a firmer answer. She stays silent for only a second too long, but even that second isn't long enough for me to think ahead. I love you. Those three words freeze me in place like a rabbit staring into headlights, but I'm not a rabbit, and I'm just staring into Rin's eyes that seem far, far too impassive for what she just let out of her mouth. Rin looks pretty serious, though, until she sticks out her tongue, frowns a little, and confuses me even more than her words did. Why does she look mildly unhappy? Was it a confession of her deepest feelings, a test to see how I would react, a test to see how she would react? It tastes weird. Tastes? Yeah, so weird. She laughs, maybe nervously or so I want to think, but stops midway when she notices how strange it sounds. Like, I don't know what. I don't think there is a word for this. Rin keeps on talking as though there was no meaning behind her words, steady and careless words dropping from the same tongue that formed the more important ones. A word for, accept. It's like she can't find the words. Rin just keeps staring at me, stumbling with her words as if her brain suddenly ground to a halt. She looks awfully confused, much like how I feel right now as I wait for her to explain. But she doesn't. She just blinks a few times, the flutter of her long lashes catching my fancy, because she looks like she's petrified otherwise. Until I realize what they were fighting against. It's those weird tears again. Not associated with sadness or happiness, not pitiable sobbing nor laughter of joy. Just tears, spontaneously and without a warning, like that one time in her classroom. Ah. Just a few of them, not enough to make a fuss about, so Rin doesn't make a move to hide them even after noticing. Rin cries, looking as she has no idea why, and somehow a great uneasiness grows in my chest when I look into her watery eyes that stare right back at me. It petrifies me too, the shock of the incomprehensibility of the situation. I just don't know what is happening anymore. Rin, what's wrong? She shakes her head in confusion, stumbling to get the words out of her mouth. Sorry. I might be a little afraid of you. The words are muttered slowly with a small voice that is as disbelieving of what it's saying as I am. What? Why? I don't know. Saying that just made me feel like that. People cry when they are afraid, right? See, I can do it too. She's averting her gaze now, deliberately not looking at me. It bewilders me, at least as much as what she is saying. I sometimes, with you, want to run away so badly, but I can't move. It's like my legs turn into lemon panna cotta pudding, and my heart feels like it's going to explode, and... She slumps her shoulders melancholically. Has a thing like this ever happened to you? I remember the leaden sky above the frozen forest, and the sound of the leafless branches clacking against each other. It's like a memory from another life. Yeah, once. My heart hurt a lot back then, too. But I thought your thing was not contagious. I shake my head with a tiny, slightly forced smile rises on my lips. The other ailment of my heart could very well be contagious, and I wouldn't care a bit. What are you afraid of? I never thought I was scary. Rin shakes her head desperately as if knowing that the tangle inside her mind won't be undone with just that. You make me feel that I should be someone else than me. It's a scary thing. It happens when you're being nice to me, like yesterday. I never know what to do at times like that. It's hard. Her voice is barely audible, a whispered admission of something that is too embarrassing to even think, not to mention to say out loud. Rin has never been one to be embarrassed, so she does utter it aloud, only timidly as if by instinct. But I want to do something, but I don't know if this me can. For a moment we just stare at each other as if waiting for the other to say something. You are so stupid. Rin's lips taste salty and scared against mine. As I grasp her into an embrace, I feel my heart thumping in my chest painfully. Even though I am glad that she can say things like that, they make me sad after all. Rin's spirit, her passion, her strength, all those things that I hold dear are the ones that I don't want to change. How should I treat them? Where are they headed to? Is that future irrevocably different from mine? That anxiety will never lose its grip on my heart, but I think I can learn to live with it. Slowly, the pain in my heart dies out, and it settles into the same rhythm as Rin's. We listen to that for some time. After our lips break apart, it takes a while for either of us to realize that we can say something now. See, you are a really kind person, even when you are not. It's the most scariest thing ever. I think that all I ever was afraid of is your kindness. Is it bad, even if you are afraid? She thinks about this for a while, furrowing her brow as though this was some kind of hard math problem. No, I'm all right with it. It's fine, if it's you. Like a weight lifted from my chest, her words elate my heart, filling it with, I don't know, happiness? What else could it be? This time my smile is genuine. Rin steps back, still smiling gently at me like I do at her. While she wipes her face on her shoulder, I pick up a round, plump dandelion clock and bring it to my pursed lips. Pff. They spread out into the wind that picks them up and carries them to a new home. To think, only a few short weeks ago they were so different. This is change. Hey. So the flowers became what they were meant to become, like you said the last time. What about you? Did you become a true artist? Or did you not, because you ran away? She pauses for a while to ponder my question, and shrugs her shoulders. It almost makes me laugh. The carefree easiness of her gesture is a lovely thing, a sign of how Rin can, truly and really, without any restraints whatsoever, shed the entire weight of the world from her shoulders, should she will so. She is, in every possible and probably a few impossible ways, free. And I think I might love her for that. I don't think it matters. Let's just watch the clouds for today. She takes 5 steps to climb on a large rock so she can rise as high as it's possible here, and stands on tiptoes. When you reach for the clouds, every inch counts. Sure, let's watch the clouds. It's good to do something you really want to do every now and then. Yeah, you are probably right. I glance upwards at the blue sky opening high above us. It's a deep cerulean vastness that spreads to fill my entire field of vision and beyond. Yet Rin stays on her rock, peering at the distant horizon where the rain clouds are drifting further away from us. I have decided something. That dreaming voice of hers, spoken to the wind that carries it to my ears, is lacking resolve in tone but is full of it in meaning. It's alright to be me after all. It's alright. Her decisions always seem to be pretty far out. Well, I suppose that is an important realization. Coming to terms with oneself, accepting yourself, being fine with what you are. A simple resolution of heart that is for some people overbearingly hard to do, if not impossible. I do realize well enough that I might also be one of those people. Rin too. Maybe we are not that different after all. Maybe to accept someone else, you first must accept yourself. Maybe that is a necessary step which we didn't take until now. Looking at her standing on that rock, I believe that she can find whatever it is she's looking for. And so can I. The wind catches her hair and clothes, and Rin spreads her short arms into an embrace that is so very, very tiny, but as wide as she can ever do. For a moment, it looks like she herself might take flight, and I have to hold myself back not to try and reach for her shoulder, to not drag her back to me. But this picture is something I can only watch. It is something for me to remember. Rin's sleeves are flapping freely in the wind, her hair wildly tousled by it, her skin touched by the setting sun. Her sleek form that I've come to adore is quivering in the cool wind that carries the small white specks past her, each a beginning of a new flower. All that is engraved inside my heart. Like those tiny seeds scattered into the wind, I'm sure that Rin too can take her place in the world without the need to create her own inside of it. Maybe she believes it too, and standing as close to heaven as possible, she is giving the world a big hug. To me, it seems like the entire world really could fit there, between those small arms of hers, inside of her all-encompassing embrace. Hisao. She looks at me in the same way she calls my name, carelessly over her shoulder with a strange happiness in her voice and in her eyes. I gaze into those mysterious dark eyes that are curiously twinkling from below her auburn hair. Although I'm too far from her to see it, I'm sure they are reflecting my image. What is it? What is the word for when it feels inside your heart that everything in the world is all right? Peace? Is that the word? I don't know. But that's the credits. Okay. So it looks like Rin is happy now. So am I. I like that. There was a lot more meaning behind it and a lot more, what's the word? Rin's affecting my mind right now. It was a lot more emotional than, like, Lily's, and it was more about Rin than Hisao, which is nice. Because, like, the only thing I don't like is how Hisao never, like, accepted himself. He was still uncomfortable with his condition till the end, which, I don't know. I guess it adds to the story. And he may have, at the very end, accepted himself as Rin accepted herself. Anyways, that was the good ending of Rin. And as you can see, it's filling up. It's filling up. And next will be Shizune, so, yeah. Thanks for watching. See you next time.